Spurs are utterly humiliated. Real Madrid's night isn't much better. Sterling saves City. We've got a transfer roundup and this week's great debate all coming up in the next few minutes as I am your host, Matt Froda. Cue the Onefootballers, and this is the Daily News. First off, and to Tottenham's shocking performance against Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Of course, you all know the score by now. Spurs were dismantled 7-2 at home, and I don't even know where to begin. The main problem with it all is that Spurs just aren't as good as managing games as Bayern or pretty much any top team in Europe. That, for me, is what separates the two. When Spurs are on top, they didn't put the chances away, and when they were under the cosh, they conceded. The opposite is said for Bayern Munich. When Spurs were really putting on pressure, Munich saw it out. They played smartly, they defended well, they kept things to a minimum, and when they were on top, they took all their chances and ended up winning 7-2. The reason I say this is because Bayern Munich's stats compared to Spurs' stats, especially in front of goal, weren't exactly out of the ordinary. Bayern had 10 shots on target, Spurs had 8. That's nothing out of the ordinary. Both teams are known to take many shots per game. The fact is that Bayern had a conversion rate of 70%, whereas Spurs' was only 25%. Of course, that's the whole point of football. The more you score, the more chance you got of winning the match. But there wasn't actually any crazy difference between the stats. But on the night, Spurs were just shocking. Defensively, they kept giving the ball away. They kept being stupid when they've got the chance to defend and clear it, and it was just all-round shocking performance, and it leaves Mauricio Pochettino and the Tottenham stars in a bit of a difficult situation. Does Pochettino leave now after saying he'd stay? Does he leave after just a few games in the season? Does Daniel Levy sack Pochettino and face the wrath of the fans? Who really knows what's going to happen? Apparently last night Pochettino kept the players in the dressing room to around 1 o'clock in the morning in an attempt to sort out what on earth is going on. For me, there are many problems that run deeper than yesterday's game. There are loads of players on the side who haven't signed new contracts. It looks like they'll be leaving at the end of the season. Some players want to leave and others just aren't good enough. Serge Aurier definitely being one of them. As for Bayern Munich though, you got to congratulate them. Some fantastic finishing, some brilliant defensive players. Serge Gnabry was on absolute fire. Robert Lewandowski as well, by the way. 15 goals in his last 9 Bayern Munich appearances. Absolutely ridiculous. What it does we know in the Champions League group is that Spurs are actually still 1 point better off than they were at this stage last season. In match day 2 of last year's campaign, they actually lost 4-2 at home, just a little bit better, to Barcelona, meaning they had 2 losses from 2. This time they've got 1 draw and 1 loss, so they are technically in a better position, although I'm definitely not covering up the fact that they were absolutely hammered at home, their biggest ever loss in European competition at home, and their biggest ever first time in their history they've conceded 7 goals at home, so a very, very poor night all round. But let's stop talking about that and move on just a little bit. So, on to Real Madrid now, where things didn't exactly go to plan for Zinedine Zidane. Now, I said that last week they actually started putting a good run of results together. They beat Sevilla away, they beat Osasuna at home, and then they went and drew away to Atletico Madrid in a game which they weren't actually fancied as favourites. But it all came crashing down again last night as they drew 2-2 at home to Club Brugge. No offence to the Belgians, but Real Madrid really should be winning this game. In fact, they had to fight back in the second half just to claim a draw after going 2-0 down. Now, there are 2 points I want to talk about this game. Firstly, the offside against Sergio Ramos. He was so far offside according to the one screenshot that we saw on the TV. However, when they went to VAR, it was then given as a goal. What I don't understand is if in the VAR room they had another angle, they had another screenshot, they used those lines to decide that Sergio Ramos was onside, at least show it on screen or let people know what's going on. If they didn't and they only had that one angle which you saw on TV, there's no way they could have given a goal because Sergio Ramos looks so far offside. I've no doubt that they've come to the right decision after reviewing it, but it'd be nice if that people actually knew what was going on. My second point behind Real Madrid, Eden Hazard is not looking like the kind of player that they thought they purchased in the summer. They spent a lot of money on him, and rightly so. He'd been brilliant at Chelsea, and last season he was unbelievable. For me, one of the best players in the Premier League. But now he's got 4 appearances under his belt at Real Madrid without a goal or an assist, and he looks a little bit scared. He kind of looks like a guy who's gone from being a big fish in a small pond to being a very small fish in a big pond, and that shouldn't be the case. He's played on the biggest stage and the biggest competitions in the world and won absolutely everything. Well, bar the Champions League, that is. I just don't understand how he can have such a little impact on the Real Madrid team. And it looks like now all their hopes are pinned on the fantastic kid, Vinicius Jr. As for the rest of the evening, well, Real Madrid probably didn't want to look at the rest of the results as PSG, thanks to Mauro Icardi's first goal for the French champions, extended their lead in Real Madrid's group with a 1-0 victory over Galatasaray. Real Madrid's arch rivals, Atletico Madrid, showed that they didn't have any worries after the 0-0 draw at the weekend by winning 2-0 against Lokomotiv Moscow. João Felix, especially impressive in that one. And for the former Real Madrid striker, the goal-scoring god, Mr. Champions League himself, Cristiano Ronaldo, he bagged another goal. Of course he did. Juventus won 3-0 at home to Bayern Leverkusen. But on to the rest of the night's action, and Raheem Sterling saved Manchester City again and is fast becoming one of the best players in the world. He came off the bench and scored the first goal as City failed to break down Dinamo Zagreb in the first hour or so, and then went on to set up the second for Phil Foden, just to show that he really is one of Manchester City's most important players. With Kevin De Bruyne out with a slight injury, it really shows that Sterling will be crucial to them hunting down Liverpool in the title chase. As for Phil Foden, well, he came on and bagged a brilliant goal, and it led to Pep Guardiola speaking after the game, saying that he's actually sorry that Foden hasn't got more minutes. At the end of last season, he said that Foden wouldn't be going anywhere because he's got a future at Manchester City in the next 10 years and he'll be getting more minutes this season. Well, that hasn't happened so far, and if you're ever doubting just how good the English youngster is, well, Raheem Sterling thinks he's good enough to be in the English first team. That just shows the kind of talent that Manchester City have got on their hands, and Guardiola did say that there will be more minutes coming up for Phil Foden. So next up, just a quick roundup of the rest of the transfer news and other news from around the footballing world. Qatari side Al Rayyan are in talks with Atletico Madrid over Diego Costa with a potential move in the next few months. Barcelona are considering going back in with another bid for Chelsea winger Willian. Claudio Marchisio, the Juventus legend, will be confirming his retirement tomorrow. And ahead of the game against Inter Milan, Barcelona have Lionel Messi back from injury.
Yo, how did Tottenham play yesterday?
We've already discussed this. We've already been through it. I don't want to talk about it anymore. So lastly but not least, because it's Wednesday, of course, we come to this week's great debate where our guys in the Onefootball newsroom pose a question for you to answer. You can let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and of course, check out our answers in the relevant article in the Onefootball app. So the question is for the great debate, what is the greatest ever individual performance in the Champions League? Of course, Serge Gnabry last night was pretty damn good, scoring 4 goals, but for me, the greatest individual performance that comes to my mind is Robert Lewandowski back in 2013. Borussia Dortmund absolutely hammered Real Madrid 4-1, with Lewandowski putting on a finishing masterclass and scoring all 4 of them. So there's my thoughts on the great debate. Let me know yours down below and the rest of today's daily news, including what on earth you think is going to happen at Spurs in the coming weeks. Of course, once you're down there, you can smash the like button and click here or here to check out all of the other videos we've got going on Onefootball. But until next time, I will see you guys later.